Hey, what up, Fomo fam? I wanted to show you the altcoins that I'm actually looking at when it's time to buy altcoins, because I have been a big proponent of not rushing into buying altcoins, and so far that's been really paying out, right? By not losing any money. But at a certain point, it will be a good time to buy altcoins. Is that point now? Is it later? What, you know, subscribe to the channel, turn on your bell notification, and you will get my opinion about that. But whenever it's time, you do not want to sit down like, okay, now let's take a look. What is there actually? Like, there's not a lot of time usually. It's not that you have like 5 minutes, but you know, in the bottom range, it's not the area where we stay the longest, right? So you already want to have a watch list. Maybe you can get a little inspired by the watch list that I actually have. So I haven't prepared anything. There might be a couple of altcoins, you know, that I don't call on this channel and that I might end up buying, and I will talk about them later. But there are already a few that on this channel I feel like, okay, you know, maybe I should talk about that a little bit. So the first thing, and let me get right into it, by the way, and please just like the video, would help me a lot to push it into YouTube's algorithm. Right now, there are not a lot of people in crypto. We started this channel in the bear market. Let's see how far we can get it into the bull market, right? Now, the first thing is Bitcoin, right? Why? Well, very simple. Bitcoin is the blue chip, right? And Bitcoin in every cycle so far proves that, you know, it has great returns. And there are always people that say, yeah, Bitcoin's kind of boring, this and that. It is actually not boring. Like, if you are a altcoin degen that really tries to chase the 100x's, then you should maybe not look. Well, then you should look at Bitcoin for one very simple reason. And I'm going to explain that really quick before I get into the next one. Look, I mean, from this cycle, $170 to this one, $2,000, Bitcoin did fantastic, right? Did more than 100x. This cycle, however, we went from 3K to 20K, right? So that's like 70K, sorry. So that's more than a 20x. And this cycle right here, wherever that exactly started, right, Bitcoin also made something like 100x. So yeah, Bitcoin does make you very great profits, but of course there are diminishing returns. There's getting more liquidity in crypto, so it's harder to pump it. Right now, I must say that if you buy Bitcoin at 30K, yeah, then you can make a 10x maybe, right? But what if you buy it at 20K? And it's a lot easier. Who says you have to buy right now? All right, who says that we cannot go lower? According to the last cycles, we probably will go lower, right? But if you're looking for 100x, I'm gonna call some altcoins in this video though. But what I mainly want to say is that your strategy and your timing is more important than, you know, the specific altcoins. Why? Look it up. End of 2021 was when every altcoin topped, right? So even if you were in a decent altcoin or a good altcoin, they all topped at around the same time, right? It's just what the market provides. How much they go up is really dependent on which altcoin you have, but also when you bought that altcoin. If an altcoin tops at $100, yeah, if you bought it at $1 or at $5, that's the difference, which makes you 100x or a 20x, for example. Right now, what my kind of strategy is I will buy Bitcoin at lower levels. I've been buying Bitcoin at lower levels. And then once the bull market starts, and no, this is not, according to me, this is not a bull market, right? This is the pre-halving year, like we saw last year, for example, went up and went down again. Well, if you want to call this the bull market already, okay. In my book, this is a bull market. But once the Bitcoin bull market starts, first ride the wave with Bitcoin. Right? Just ride the wave with Bitcoin. Because if you look at the altcoin market divided by the Bitcoin market cap, this means that here in this lower area is where altcoins are cheap against Bitcoin. Right? So when was the best moment to buy altcoins with Bitcoin? I'm not saying with dollars, but with Bitcoin. Here, exact first week of 2021. If you then go back to Bitcoin, first week 2021 was here. That's where Bitcoin was sitting at $35,000 already, right? So you already made a 10, 12x with Bitcoin before the best time to buy altcoins happened, right? So that's kind of my strategy. Ride the wave with Bitcoin. Then later on, when the total tree divided by the Bitcoin market cap is really down here in the area, right? I'm not trying to time the bottom, but in the area, then convert most of my Bitcoin into altcoins and then ride the altcoin wave. Because making 100x, it sounds like, oh, I only need 100x and then, yeah. But before that happens, you have rocked yourself so many times that you have nothing to 100x more anymore, right? It's not about making a single 100x. It's more about you can make a 10x and make another 10x with that, and that's also 100x, and that's a lot more doable, especially in a bull run. A matter of fact, it's quite easy if you play it right? So that's my strategy. So first, I buy Bitcoin. Also, because it's the safest, right? If you think we are approaching a bull market or whatever, and you want to get into the market, and you bought something, and it turns out that there's bad news, and the market turns shit, or the Binance gets washed out, or whatever it might be, right? And the market collapses. Well, we have all seen in this bear market how that ends if you were in Bitcoin or if you were in altcoins, right? With altcoins, you would have lost all your freaking money. Bitcoin, you don't lose so much, right? It's also safety. It's important, right? Don't just unsafely chase 100x's. So yeah. Well, yeah, boring list so far, but Ethereum. I think Ethereum will do very well. I don't like the Ethereum chain that much. I think there are better chains, faster chains, cheaper chains, basically every one of them. But Ethereum is the blue chip. It's just, it's the one, right? And projects are built on Ethereum, and Ethereum tokenomics are like in this bull run where Ethereum went from $80 to $4,700, right? That was this run. Ethereum in the last run did a 60x, give or take. That was while Ethereum was pretty inflationary. Now Ethereum is deflationary, all right? So let that sink in. I think, that, and I'm not saying, oh, Ethereum will do an easy 60x again, but it shows me that Ethereum definitely has potential. So that's another one that I'm definitely interested in. Then, I'm gonna just pick some random stuff, right? I have my Delysium nodes running, so I get these tokens daily, and they are getting distributed daily to people, so therefore the downwards trend, and it's an altcoin bear market, so of course this doesn't look that good at this moment. I'll let that play out, I think Delysium is a project that is very interesting. Can it go down way more? Yeah, it can. Can it go up super hard? Yeah, it can, right? If I would not have a position in Delysium, I would be definitely interested in adding Delysium to my watch list as well. But like I said, I already have a couple of nodes running, so I already get the tokens, so I don't need to buy them. I think Altura is a very interesting project as well. They work with smart NFTs, and for the people that still think that NFTs are nothing else than a picture of a rock or a monkey, there's more than that. NFTs can have a real insane utility, all right? And I think, yeah, that Altura is definitely one of them. At this price, I think it's sitting at a $30 million market cap or so. It has a lot of potential, and this could be definitely 10x. Yeah, and the thing is that it already 5-6x from the lows, right? So buying it right now, I don't know. It can go up harder than this, of course, but especially in a bear market, there are so many great opportunities. Yeah, and then if you look at one of these exceptions, I don't feel like, yeah, let's buy that big ass green candle. There are so many discounts right now. Why buy the pumps, right? It's Chain GPT, also slight new. So this is all quite more high risk, right? Because you do not know how this vesting is going to go. And yeah, if I look at this, who says how low we can go on this one, right? Who says how low we can go on this one? But I like the product, and this has like an $8 million market cap or so, but it's a real good product. I'm looking, and let me put it all in one box right here. I'm looking at Launchpads, Engine Starter. I'm looking at Seedify, right? These also, and definitely not time yet to buy this one, I think, but GameFi, right? Like this chart is crashing, so not buying that right now. DAOmaker, looking a little more stable, but still going down, right? But these are also things that I'm looking at. Why? Very simple, because new projects releasing in the bull market make you hundreds of X's, right? So I want to take those 100 X's at that way. And therefore you have to have these tokens. And once it is a bull market, people want to be involved and they want to get their hands on these tokens. And these tokens will go up hard as well. How far can they go down first? I don't know. Like, I love CDFI, it's my biggest holding. Problem is, however, if I just very, unemotional look at the chart, lower lows, lower highs, right? Not looking good at the moment. It's 70 cents, 78 now. Is it bottomed? Good. Could it go to 20 cents? Good. I don't know, right? I don't know. So therefore, be careful with the current market right now, but definitely a project that I'm interested in. I do still think that, let me take a look. Wrong list. I do still think that Gala has a pretty bright future, if you ask me. Gala can definitely do more about the tokenomic side of the project. Also, when it comes to rewarding people, I'm running a Gala film node, for example, and ever since more than a year ago, I bought the node for $5,000. It's silence, right? No word about Gala film token distribution, about nothing. They don't really seem to care about the investors. That's the problem with Gala. However, they somehow do manage to build a hype around it. And the hype for Gala was enormous right here. And once we had this relief right here, you'll notice that there was also a hype. It's now cooling off. The problem is, however, people like to buy the hype, right? But buy it when it cools off. Then you have those entries, right? So whenever it's getting really silent with Gala, that you don't feel comfortable buying it, and that goes for every project, it's usually the best time to buy it, right? Gala, yeah, and I've drawn this, by the way, don't let it scare you, but it's just an example that I made on other videos. Like, yeah, in the last bear market, altcoins went down 80%, and then another 80%, and then another 80%. Why can't that happen with Gala? We'll put it here, right? Half a cent. Could be. Could be. There's no reason to believe why that can't happen. But it's good, right? Because if Gala goes back to its all-time high, right? Let's say 34x from here, which is insane, of course, right? But what if it gets here and then goes back to its all-time high? It's 160x. Huge difference, right? And even if it doesn't go back to its all-time high, doesn't matter. You still make a shitload of money if you get the right entry. Games for a living is a real interesting thing. This could be a Gala killer. I have videos about it. Go watch that video. Hypercycle is a project that I heavily invested in. I invested $10,000 in the pre-sale of this one, and it went 4x so far. It's Ben Knaus. Is that his name? Is that the right name? I'm not completely sure anymore if that's the real name. CEO of Ajax, SingularityNet is in the team. Interesting. IMX might be interesting, not top of my list, but it's a very good gaming blockchain layer one. So yeah, it could do well, but I think it's quite high cap already. So it's very interesting, but I want to see some lower prices first. Nakamoto Games is something that I feel like, yeah, missed that one, fuck it, right? I've made some decent profits on Naka, sold it, and it had another run. And now I do feel like, yeah, am I buying this right now at this level? It doesn't matter how good the project is. I'm not interested in buying those big ass green pumps. Volker Forged, interesting on its Bitcoin pair. Also interesting, but in a less good way. But Volker Forged, I do think that this project is something that can do really well in the future. Superverse is one that I absolutely like as well. So there's a lot of gaming, right? Ultra still, people call it the Steam of crypto, and you'll know how Steam is performing, so that's nice. Fiore, interesting as well. But I have it on my phone, looking at some older projects. Look, a lot of old projects will die, right? Let's be honest, they won't be around anymore. But there are always some coins that I feel like, yeah, they are here to stay. Cardano, for example. Cardano is something that I will be buying. Not at 30 cents though. Like I do feel like that's too high for Cardano. It came from $3, now sitting at 30 cents. Last cycle, what it did, it went from $3 all the way down to half a cent. to 1.5 cents, right? And then it went all the way back up. I'm not waiting for that move again necessarily, but I think that the difference between this and this is way too big, especially now that, you know, security and all of that. I do think we can get a better entry on that one. But Cardano knows how to survive a bear market and has a good community. Product-wise, I'm not such a fan of Cardano, though. I like Solana. A lot of people don't like Solana. I don't care. I like Solana. Solana is fast. It's cheap. But like really fast and really cheap. And I do think that Solana has some legs to it. It went down quite hard, mostly because there were a lot of holdings when it came to FTX. But that had nothing to do with Solana, the product, right? The product wasn't less good because of that. And it 2x from the bottom, more than 2x from the bottom, by the way. Yeah, it's sitting at a level that I'm not so interested in right now yet, right? If you look on its Bitcoin pair making lower, well, at least lower highs, lower low. It's now officially a higher low, but I do think that Solana has some legs down still. Chainlink, yeah, one of the few oracles, and we do need that. So Chainlink is something that I'm pretty interested in as well. It's something that I stack up on. It's an older product, older project. Which I think is pretty interesting. Looks like it's ranging, right? You would say. But always look at their Bitcoin pairs, okay? Just made a lower low. So it's only holding up on its dollar pair because Bitcoin is doing so well. And that goes for a lot of altcoins. So yeah, that. What do I have left in here? Yeah, there's a lot. I'm gonna forget about a lot of stuff though. There's a project which is really high risk, high reward, if you ask me. And maybe I have it here somewhere. Yeah, MetaWare. MetaWare is a project that has been released by Seedify last year, and there's a hard vesting going on there for the prices coming down extra hard. But they are all about fashion in the metaverse, and it sounds a little far-fetched, but if you believe in the metaverse, then this is something that you can believe in as well. And this market cap is like, it's really low right now. Like this can be really your real Delysium play right here. If you look for where, here you go. There's a market cap of 400K, right? It's 10 times as low as my own project. What do you mean? Right, so that says something, right? While they are really, but I know the dev, well, one of the devs, they really focusing on the product instead of the token side, and that should be interesting as an investor, because once they start focusing on the token side of it, then it's already too late. So research the project, research it. Even the fully diluted is super micro cap. Research it, and if you like it, you might want to dip your toes in a little bit. What else is there? Let me check. Champ. NFT Champions, insanely high risk, high reward as well. Why? Well, because it is a single game, and it's just really not performing well at this point. It has $1 million market cap, fully diluted 8 million, so also a big gap when it comes to that. But I don't know. They had a run somewhere. Yeah, they had a run. I think from 1 cent. To here to 3 cents. Here was the Epic Game Store announcement, I think, and now it came back all the way down, and it just put in a lower low. I do really like how it's looking. To be honest, it's kind of a Pokemon style, and that can be really big in crypto. But it's like it's a lot of like I don't know. They should deliver, right? They should deliver, but it's really looking pretty awesome if you look at this. And I'm definitely able to bet some money on this kind of stuff, right? This could be really big. Could be really big. So yeah, for sure. This is an old list, by the way, so it's not updated. Like Moonriver is in here. I'm not interested in Moonriver anymore. ZCX is in here, not interested. Polkadex, not interested anymore. Trias is doing really well, by the way. Yeah, DCA 2023. AVAX, I think, is doing very well. On its Bitcoin pair, it's not doing very well, right? And I'm mostly buying when it's stable on its Bitcoin pair, right? Like if the Bitcoin dominance now goes up a little bit, then AVAX is getting murdered. So not really that interesting at this specific moment. We already discussed most of these. Yeah, Matic is like one of the more high cap coins. I said this before. I think that Matic is high risk, high reward, and it sounds like some people say, well, high risk, high reward. If you look at the chart, right? This is Matic on its Bitcoin pair. We don't need a lot from the Bitcoin dominance. If it goes up, Matic has a lot of room to go down, right? And if Bitcoin also goes down, then the dollar pair is screwed. So Matic is a good product. They have the insanest partnerships ever. And I really believe in Matic. But I just think that 70 cents is like really overvalued at this stage of the market, and it could be a lot better for us. We can get a super great entry on this one, and then I'm interested in scalping a lot of Matic. But I think it can come down hard. I'm not saying it will, but it can come down like really hard. That's kind of my watch list, give or take. Yeah, there is a lot though that I'm now forgetting, but this is kind of what I'm looking at. If you have any, suggestions of stuff that I should take a look at, let me know in the comments. Any questions, let them know as well, and I'll see you guys soon.